for the Sorare Global Cup. Now, I've been on quite a few times. I'm casting as far and wide as I possibly can. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok this evening. We've just broke 1,000 followers on TikTok, so thanks very much to everyone that follows me over there. And it now means we can maybe try and do some stuff a wee bit of everywhere. We're also on Twitch as well. I'm pretty sure I've got Twitch, the chat here somewhere, but I'm going to do my best to keep apprised of everything. Now, what we're going to be doing in the live stream today, guys, is I'm drafting my Sorare Fantasy Dream Team again, okay, but I don't really have that many changes. I'm just more taking you guys through my final selections and why I made them, as well as taking into consideration the tiebreaker rule and the fact that there will be additional cards coming in match day 3. So in the stream today, we'll be talking about all the latest rules as well as all the giveaway stuff and blah, 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 everything else around that. But also, I found a really fun World Cup bracket, and I've not done one yet, and I thought we'll do that at some point as well, just to kind of flesh everything out. Because I think when we're doing World Cup Fantasy and we're getting ready for the big day tomorrow, Qatar versus Ecuador, woohoo! Well, I'm sure we're all excited for that. Then yeah, we just want to cover all the bases. I've not done a wee bracket yet, and I thought, why not do it now? Because now it's on the eve. We can smell the anticipation in the air. The tournament will be happening tomorrow. Fist bumps to everyone on arrival. We've got Charlie O'Hare in on the TikTok. Fist bump, my man. Good to see you, my man. Thanks for joining us. Fist bumps on arrival for all, of course, and on YouTube and Twitch and all that other stuff as well. We've got Hudson popping in, Mikey Bass and Hey My, all the regulars. Ian Sorare has gifted out 5 memberships to the FC Barcelona, like the paywall stuff that we do. Sorare Channy's in the house. Good to see you, my man. Sorare Connor, Rishi, Shaka Boom. Fist bumps to you all, man. Bolshi Mika. Good to see you all. And guys, it feels like the festive season. Gifts are in the live chat on YouTube, which is lovely to see. Guys are popping off and joining us on TikTok as well. So we're everywhere. Things are happening. And also, guys, if you haven't joined my private league, I need to fix the YouTube description on this video. But if you're on TikTok, it's in my bio. And if you're on YouTube watching this, you've probably joined my league already, right? But the top 3, we're giving away some amazing prizes. We're giving away signed Celtic. We're giving away VIP tickets to Celtic Park. And I think I've really understated this, right? But see, VIP at Celtic is an open bar. Like, you can drink to your heart's content before and after the game. It's lovely. As well as some amazing dining and everything else. And it'll be a league fixture. And Sorare normally coordinate with the winners of these things what fixture and you can get it for. And, it could be any game that you ask for. Really just got to cross your fingers on luck in that sense. Also, same goes for St. Pauli. But I don't think they're VIP tickets necessarily. And then there's a St. Pauli signed shirt for number 3. The raffle for the group stages, which I think is probably the most exciting part of my competition, is anyone with a Celtic player in their team has the opportunity to win a Celtic signed shirt. That's this year's shirt, this year's team, full squad signature, and that's a raffle thing from the group stages, So even if you're not a mad fantasy football demon or shark or whatever, you can definitely get right in amongst that. And then I'm also raffling off 3 St. Pauli shirts, 1 that's signed and 2 that aren't, on the eve of the World Cup final. And I guess we'll do it kind of like this across all platforms if we can. And that would be lovely. So if you are joining me on TikTok, drop messages and stuff like that. I'd love to hear from you and see you. And obviously everyone that we're used to seeing. Can I put messages on this? I think I can. Yeah, I can. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, fist bumps on arrival. Let me know your dark horse picks in your teams as well as your expectations, because it now seems much more apparent that we are going to get supplemental players all the way through the tournament, So this isn't really going to be an elimination style game that normally you would see in definitely World Cup fantasy football. Like in times gone by, if you did like Sun Dream Team or worldsoccer.com or any of these types of things, like you'd pick a team at the beginning, maybe you'd get some subs or whatever, but if people got eliminated, that was generally like what took you apart and getting further in the tournament would stand you in good stead. But it feels like Sorare are going to make a few intervals in this tournament that's been stated that they will bolster your team up. So even if you do actually join this competition a match or 2 matches into the tournament, you're not really missing much. You're definitely written off of getting anything stellar from the overall leaderboard. But on a weekly basis, you're not really going to be that much worse off, depending on how shrewd your picks are and how good you are, or how lucky you get. Could be a mixture of everything. Weasel Mount, fist bump, good to see you, my man. Qatar paid extra to be the first game. Score. Fist bump, good to see you. Stefan, my man, long time no see. Good to see you. Weasel Mount, what a legend, Ian. I done my final draft today and I'm not changing it. He's went with Emi Martinez, David Rom, Kevin De Bruyne, Cody Gakpo and Leo Messi. That's lovely. 3 bar. Do I have to watch the game? Yes, you do, Score. You would have to watch the game. Nice to see Sorare follow. Yeah, and I was quite buzzing to see Rio Ferdinand when he announced his private league, because I thought, I've got better prizes than Rio Ferdinand. How cool is that? Now, the prizes have been donated by Sorare, and I thank them immensely for all the support they've given me and the channel over this time. It's been absolutely phenomenal, nothing short of incredible, and I hope all you guys that are my little community here, like, stand to benefit from that. So if you haven't entered it yet, it's an absolute doddle again, but the link is everywhere. If you're on TikTok, it's in the bio. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to find it on the videos easy enough. I'll update the description in this. Everyone on YouTube's probably in it already, but anyway, like I said, cannot be easier. Free to play, 5-a-side, we do a draft. Now, like I said at the tip off, I kind of know what team I'm going to be building. I kind of know what team I'm going to be going through. Don't make me change my final draft, says Isco. I'll try my best. Sorry, I'm following FIFA and changing things last minute. Oh, interesting, Mikey. I've not actually set up the play page over here, actually. Oh, lovely. Just about worked by accident, but not quite perfectly, but close enough. So I'm going to start off in goals now. I've really not swayed too much on my goalkeeper choice at all. Emi Martinez at 14 points for me is the number one get at goalkeeper. I'm hearing a lot of people going cheap with goalkeepers compared to, I think Pickford's probably the most expensive when I'm hearing people pick, but I'm hearing a lot of Livakovic's, Unai Simon's. Unai Simon's not a bad shout, I suppose, but for me, I just think Emi Martinez is just so bound for the final, and he's such a hero as well for that national team that I think he's just an absolute steal. Now, it was actually funny because the cheapest goalkeeper, the one that I picked on the member stream, the guy's called Dan Lad, and he's actually one of the most selected goalkeepers in Sorare Global Cup 2022. So it's because he's the cheapest goalkeeper, and your backup keeper, you're not going to be playing him in the group stages in particular. There's absolutely no need for him unless like some sort of catastrophe does happen with your number one goalkeeper. That's the risk you do take, I suppose, but goalkeepers, we don't suspect that's overly likely. Now, this wants to go straight into forwards right away. Now, I don't mind going through the forwards because, like you guys will know, the very first draft, right, I was all about Memphis Depay, and then it became more and more apparent that maybe game one, he's not going to kick off as big, and how vital actually game one is to this entire competition with the fixture that France and Argentina have, and maybe Brazil depending on what happens, and maybe England depending on what happens. Match day one is so important for the overall leaderboard, so everyone is definitely in that frame of mind of, I need game one to be hot. So I can't really stick with Depay, which saddens me immensely. It does allow me to stay with Antoine Griezmann, which was one of my number one picks right away. And then I'll then do, and again, the members will probably know this already, but I then go Lautaro Martinez. I think you get everything from Lautaro that you get from Lionel Messi, except for the 100 points. Now, I know that sounds stupid, right? But I think for the difference in price on him, and where I can maybe get some points elsewhere, like, I think I might be better off, because defence was the main place we struggled. Because when you look at defence across this World Cup and all the different nations and all the group stages and how they all look, I really do struggle. Like, Theo Hernandez was my number one pick, but it really doesn't sound like he's going to be a starter for France. And João Cancelo is a great pick, but again, Portugal are just a wee bit, I don't know. I think everyone agrees that Portugal aren't as nailed to be good as they probably should be on paper. There's just something there. But, it's here to be wrong, of course, on that one. I'd love to see Portugal and Cancelo do great. But, again, so there's how many defenders can you realistically pull out of here that are 80 plus capable? Because to get match day one and do good for the rest of the group stages, you need a defender you can roll with for ideally 3 matches, and that might not always be guaranteed, and across those 3 matches can be in the top 10, top 20 scoring in that position. That's kind of what you're hoping for. And I think there's so many across defence for the price points that are available. So many coin tossers. David Raum is a very popular one. We've heard that in the live chat today. He is like the only left back for Germany. He's very attacking, and because he does get lots of goals and assists, I actually just realised on TikTok, sorry, I can actually change this page to make it a bit better. Is it that page now? 2 seconds. There we go. Yeah, fantastic. So David Raum is very decisive, capable, and for a team like Germany that we would all suspect, Germany are always a team that goes deep into tournaments, So David Raum at 13 coins is a very popular choice, or diamonds, or whatever we're going to use. I love the look of guys like Upamecano, if you reckon he's going to play all the time. Kim Min-jae could be amazing for Korea in the group stages, but he is like a free player, a free game card. Like, South Korea are not getting out that group with Uruguay, Ghana, and Portugal in it. Koulibaly, maybe Senegal have got a shot at getting out their group, So I love Hakimi as well, but at 12 points, Morocco are quite unlikely to get past Croatia and Belgium. So I think so many defenders that are on this, draft, there's so much give and take for every one of them. So for me, because of the forward options I've taken, I've basically tried to get Mbappe and Messi and taking Lautaro, Martinez and Griezmann here, but for not their kind of their accessory in the fantasy football sense, if that makes sense, because Griezmann is the main guy for France. Like, Deschamps loves him. He's in great condition. It's not as if he's been worked into a lot of these players could have been going into this World Cup, and some of them are going into this World Cup, like, really played to the max. As we all know, quite famously, Griezmann is not in that condition, Lautaro Martinez is a huge part of the Argentina team at the moment. Messi loves playing with him. Messi loves linking up with him. So again, like, if Messi's getting goals and assists, like, Lautaro's going to be included in that. So I think the points I can save there, it then means I can go to defence, and really, like, I can't really look beyond Virgil van Dijk as the number one defender, like, on this, Holland have got a great group. He should play every game. He is capable without a decisive action, but if they get the clean sheet, he's definitely capable of huge scores. And if he is to get like a long shot, or he scores from a set piece or something like that, which Virgil van Dijk can do, then again, the sky's the limit for Virgil. It really is. So I think he's a great pick. Now, when it comes to midfield, again, I think it's only about... Now, there's some good arguments for midfield in this World Cup, I think. There's guys like Foden, Jude Bellingham in particular, maybe even somebody like Bernardo Silva, Goretzka, Rodrigo de Paul, maybe somebody like that could come up, Valverde, De Jong, these kind of players, and really impress on the World Cup. I think Eriksen's got a decent shout because, again, similar to the way I perceive kind of Griezmann and even Memphis Depay, Christian Eriksen is like everything good about Denmark happens. Gareth Bale as well, the same. Everything happens through Christian Eriksen. So if Denmark do have a good group stages, if they do get past Tunisia and Australia, I think Christian Eriksen at 15 points could be a very good pickup. But for me, it's all about De Bruyne. Like, I think De Bruyne is he's going to be a man on a mission. He's more than capable. He's absolute top end world class. He's more than capable of leading that Belgium team deep into this tournament through his own actions. He is so good to score goals, make assists himself. Like, he's just incredible. And their group, like, they've got 2 games where De Bruyne should be running the show against Canada and Morocco. So yeah, and even the Croatia game, I expect him to run that as well, and that's, even though you would think, Belgium, Croatia, that's not a fixture you want to back, but I actually backed De Bruyne in that fixture. I think he's going to be the best midfielder on the pitch, head and shoulders, and Belgium are built around, as much as I hate Roberto Martinez, Belgium are built around maximising KDB, Lukaku when he's fit, and Eden Hazard when he was actually quality. But De Bruyne still stands, and I think that's what I'm running with. So the 2 spots I'm then left with my 14 coins, and this works out absolutely perfectly, guys, right? The tiebreaker situation, right? Because if this is my starting 5, Emi Martinez, Van Dijk, De Bruyne, Lautaro Martinez, and Griezmann, my tiebreak situation is obviously if I'm tied on points with somebody, I then rely on the 3 best, my bench players. Their score breaks the tie. Now, how often will this actually come into play? Probably never, right? But I really don't want to tinker with that team, but I'm still after the best choices available. Now, I've said this in all my content, and I still stand by it. Takumi Minamino at 6 coins is the best 6 coin card in the game for me. If you have a midfielder spot, I don't know why you would pick anyone else. They've got 1 good game against Costa Rica where you would expect that they do well. Maybe they get lucky as well against Spain or Germany if you were forced to play him, or if the tiebreaker was to happen. He takes penalties, he can make assists, he could be involved in so many things. It's 6 coins, it's an easy bench player to pick up. And then in defence, again, because of all the question marks we were talking about earlier, at 8 coins, I find Josip Juranovic. If he's the number 1 right back for Croatia, which everyone in Glasgow thinks he is, at 8 coins, Croatia are expected to get out their group and do pretty well. And if he has a starting right back, his scores on Sorare are there to be seen. Juranovic's quality on the ball, great defensively, and he maybe does get caught out. He has been caught out for Celtic, but again, I think with Croatia, he's not playing this inverted, he's not playing this different system that he does with Celtic. It's a bit more straightforward, and I think then there's just less mistakes to be had, quite simply, and I think his qualities will shine as a result. So I think, again, at 8 coins, Josip Juranovic is really hard to look past. So that's my draft, and then that brings me to my team. Now, it kind of picks itself in goals, of course, with Emi Martinez, I said Van Dijk and goals. But even, again, Van Dijk's a quality choice. But if I did think, do you know what? That Senegal game, Mane's out, of course. And I don't think Senegal are going to do good as a result of that. But Juranovic isn't a bad backup, by the way, for keeping under budget. But I've got Van Dijk. De Bruyne speaks for himself, and then again the two forwards. Now, I think that is a quality best five for this World Cup. De Bruyne's my captain, so I think he's just the most 100 capable. And I think that should always be your captain. The guy you think is going to smash 100, because that's what you want. You want your captain bringing in the maximum points possible. Sometimes that will be based on minutes. Sometimes that will be based on goals and assists. But whatever guy you think is most likely to smash 100, that's the guy that should be your captain. That's my best five. The link to this, if you're on TikTok, this is in my bio. You can just click the link. You can draft your team for free and enter some quality prizes. It's great fun, and it's making the World Cup a hell of a lot better as a result. So that's the final team. I'm just going to catch up. Harry Trades, good to see you, my man. TikTok, loving it. Good to see you, my man. And then on everywhere else, might share minutes with Stanisic. Yeah, he might do. But he's my backup, so I can see that as I go on. And, you know, Stanisic is probably a bit more on the attacking side. I think Juranovic, the reason everyone in Glasgow is so determined that Juranovic is the number one for Croatia is everyone watched the Croatia-France game with a lens on Juranovic, and he did a great job against Mbappe. So everyone's just convinced that that's made him number one. And, you know, let's see what happens. I'm not saying any more than what I can share with you, which is that. Mark Kersley, good to see you, my man. It has been a while. Chileo, fist bump, my man. Good to see you. Have you seen the overall leaderboard tab in the rewards section? So rewards. Overall. Oh, nice. Oh, lovely, isn't it? Zidane experience. Oh, loving it. That is class, isn't it? Lovely. Who brought that? Chileo. What a find, my man. That is quality. Love that prize pool, guys. How sick is that? Getting the wee Zidane icons there. Tons of ETH as well. Look at that, man. What a prize pool that is. Lovely, by the way. Lovely little tab flick. Love that. Love a wee flick of the tab. So for match day one, which starts tomorrow with Qatar against Ecuador, I've not got anyone featuring, but I've got two Argentinians, a Frenchman. I was going to double up with Theo Hernandez, like I mentioned, but we're going with Virgil van Dijk because I just think he'll kill it. Yeah, I just think this team top to bottom is absolutely solid. But the other thing that I had lined up for today as well was to predict the brackets. Rumour Benzema could be out for the whole tourney, says Mikey Basson. Only good news for Griezmann. That's what I think. Only good news for Griezmann. That's Chileo. Thank you very much. That's a great tab. Now, this is on eurosport.co.uk. If you type into Google World Cup predictions, it's actually really fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to predict who I think is going to finish where in the groups, and then it fills out a little tree, and we're going to do that for the rest of the stream as well. If you're in any of the live chats or whatever, just get involved and let me know what you think for each of them, because I've kind of worked through the groups and whatever, right? So the first one's quite straightforward, right? I think Holland beat Qatar, Ecuador, and the very worst draw with Senegal. So I think they finish on 7 points. I think there's a fair chance that Ecuador can beat Senegal and qualify from this group, because I think they've just maybe got a wee bit more coherence, you know, where Senegal would have hoped for Mane towards the back end of this group in the easier matches, in air quotes, after they play Holland first. But I think Holland and Ecuador is going to be 1 and 2 in that group. Now, I really do think there's a sincere chance that America could get 9 points in this group. Like, I really do. But I'm going to rein it in a bit. And I'm going to say that I think America are probably just going to finish second. England probably do qualify. Now, I really don't actually think that England are going to qualify. I really do. Somehow, I do just feel that it's going to be like this somehow. But whenever I lay the results out, I'm like, you know, I don't really know if I can see Wales beating England, right? So I think that's 3 points to England. But I think America can beat everyone. So I guess I think what I'm saying actually is I think America can top that group. I think that's kind of what I'm feeling. In Group C, it's all about Argentina, isn't it? Poland, everyone has them going through. And again, I don't think we would disagree with Mexico, then Saudi Arabia. Maybe just even by goal difference or whatever. Let me just check this all looks okay everywhere we are. Yeah. So I think that's probably it, because I just get this feeling that I think England are going to just not be that convincing in this group, but they'll probably still go over the line. In Group D, it's all about France. Now, if Benzema's going to be out for a bit, that's really good for Giroud. And to be honest with you, as you know, this is really big for Benzema because he's been outcast from the international team for so long. So for him to come into this World Cup was a big deal for Benzema. So for the actual team, but it doesn't really mean anything because it just means Giroud comes back in, and Giroud played when they won the World Cup. So I don't actually think that really means anything to France's chances necessarily, if I can say that. Denmark are a really good shout to finish second, as we mentioned earlier on with Christian Eriksen, and the whole Danish team in general is pretty good. Australia, yeah, maybe they beat Tunisia, maybe they don't, I don't know, but I think this is France and Denmark all day of the week. Now, in Group E, I actually think Spain have got a great shot at finishing on 9 points in this group. I think Spain are so underestimated. Like, Luis Enrique is going into this tournament with that team, like, I've been watching that Spain team with the likes of Ferran Torres and a few other cards in my gallery for the last 2 years, and it has been quite a, they've been quite consistent, Spain, in a lot of their actions and a lot of their tactics and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them win every game in their group. It really wouldn't surprise me, because I remember when Spain, I think we have Costa Rica at the bottom, don't we? And Germany, of course, have to qualify from this group as well. But when Spain went on that run initially, when they won the World Cup and the Euros back-to-back, the very first time they done it, they absolutely ran away with their group. And everyone was like, oh, wow. I can't remember if they did it on points or just on the pitch. But when they first turned up, it was like, oh, wow, Spain might actually turn up this time and they might actually do it. And I think that's the kind of group stage performance Spain could have in them, despite what everyone says about the likes of Morata and Ferran Torres. These guys do fit in systems and can score goals, and I wouldn't be surprised, is all I'm saying. In Group F, I cannot see past Belgium topping this at all. Croatia, again, Croatia should be beating Canada and Morocco, so that's 6 points comfortably. Croatia and Belgium play each other in the last game of the group, so I can see them both getting there on 6 points and down in tools a bit. Who knows what will happen, we'll see. In Group G, it's all about the Samba boys for me. The Selecção, if that's how we say it, are one of my favourites to go really far in this tournament. I have them to win. I have them to win the tournament, I think, overall. But as you'll see, I think the way the tree goes sometimes. Now, I was going to put Serbia in there. Now, I was actually previewing the group stages, and I think Cameroon are terrible. And I think if Brazil beat Serbia in the first match and Switzerland beat Cameroon in the first match, then, I think maybe the balance of power is maybe in Switzerland's hands as the group goes on. So I think Switzerland could be a sneaky shout to get by here, because I think Serbia are the type to let you down when you think they've got a good team, and I think Cameroon are horrible, by the way. I think Cameroon are going to get smashed in this World Cup. I think they're going to do terrible. I'm very sorry. Now, Group H, I actually find really difficult to pick apart because I'm not confident about any of these teams. Portugal probably have to finish on top because their squad is so elite, for like 20-25 players worth. It's just top class, top to bottom, in all different profiles, positions. They've got everything. They really do. So it's really hard to see past them. But when it comes to Ghana, Uruguay and Korea, I could see Korea or Ghana being a real banana skin team against Uruguay and then subsequently against Portugal. I think Portugal could qualify in this group with 5 points, for example. And then it's maybe Korea and somebody else, whatever it would then. I think this group will be very tight, is kind of what I'm getting to here. And I really find it difficult deciphering second and third and fourth, to be honest with you. But I think ultimately the easy thing to say is Uruguay, because they've got Luis Suarez and Darwin and all the rest of it. But I do fancy an African team to do well. And I'm quite aware at this stage I don't have any African teams progressing. So I'm going to choose Ghana to qualify in this. I do think Ghana will do it over Uruguay and Korea. And that's my predictions for the group stages of the World Cup. Everyone, what do you think of that? Let me know. What do you think of that? And then we've got the eliminations to do, so we'll do them as well. It'll be good fun. Good to see you. I think Denmark can top the group over France. Interesting shout, Campbell, too. It's definitely not impossible. Denmark have beat France quite recently, I'm sure, in some sort of international. Benzema got injured 40 minutes ago, says Tariq. That is breaking news. Benzema is out. Ouch. Denmark had France on toast recently. Tommy B, yep, that's right. Hey, which goalkeeper will start for Netherlands? Milan Scout, I've got no idea, and I don't want anything to do with that headache, man. I want to play five-a-side with Zidane. I'm not taking any chances with Dutch goalkeepers, man. Screw that. Maybe get that later. Could France fall foul? Now, Weasel minus a great point. France, last time they were World Cup winners, they were the joke of the tournament, never got out the group stages. I remember it vividly because that's when I was going mad for football and love that generation, love that team. But yeah, they were a huge disappointment. It could happen again, but I really don't think so. I think they've got enough in their team quite comfortably that they'll cruise for a good bit, and then we'll see if the quality can actually come through again. Mikey Basson is saying Spain give the feeling of the side of the late 90s. No great striker, but great everywhere else. Yeah, sort of. I think so. Yeah, that's definitely where they are. In terms of late 90s, I think Raul. I loved Raul. Raul Gonzalez was the man. Belgium not getting out the group, says hey, my. So, if, who have you got coming out then? It must be Canada. I'm not against that, but I think De Bruyne will have different. I think he'll have different ideas. Predictions, but I see Uruguay doing good, says Tarkike, and Zenith don't see anyone picking Ronaldo for the Global Cup. I'm not picking him. I think the African teams are weaker. AFCON wasn't very good to watch. Yeah, but AFCON is normally this kind of time of year, so there's so much familiarity for some of these African teams in terms of conditions, preparation, etc. That, maybe that comes into their favour. I don't know. There's not much of you jumping into the live chat with us on TikTok. Let me know what you're thinking. Get involved. But yeah, I think there's got to be an African team do well, and I'm going to go with Ghana. Now, all the group stages that I've just picked in spits this out really nicely. It's amazing, isn't it? Holland against England. Now, I think easily the Dutch can pass England in this game. I'm really sorry. I think by this time Depay's fully fit and available. I think the defence, I think everything about Holland when they're fully fit, except their keeper, is world class. I think they've got great options in every position. And again, the Dutch are bred to play Dutch football. Louis van Gaal is Dutch football in a lot of ways, and I just think that, the Dutch can go very far. It's Louis van Gaal as well. You never write him off for a surprise. And the Dutch have got just a wee, and I love Holland at World Cups. Like, so many of my favourite matches over the years have had Holland in them, and I always kind of like to see them do well. So, yeah, Holland to beat England. I'm sorry. Argentina, Denmark. I'm taking Argentina, of course. Spain, Croatia. Now, that's a really interesting one because this feels like a really good kind of even contest because. Yeah, both teams like to play quite similar football. Both teams have got probably the same amount of players at like a 7 out of 10 level, if that makes sense. And, both have got great international pedigree and caliber over the last 4 or 5 tournaments easily, each. So this will probably be, if this is one of the knockout games, this could be an absolute classic that does extra time and penalties and all that kind of thing. And, like I say, I think Luis Enrique and Spain have probably just got a bit about them. I could see Spain doing that. Brazil versus Ghana. Now, if Ghana was to beat Brazil, wouldn't that be a shock? But I think I see Brazil going very far in this tournament. Now, if America do win their group, I would see them play Ecuador in the next round, which is fantastic because I would put America to beat Ecuador, no problem, man. And then I would put America into the quarterfinals of the World Cup, which is amazing. France versus Poland. Now, again, talking about banana skins and stuff like that, in a one-off knockout game, having somebody like Lewandowski in your ranks makes you a threat to anyone. And Poland would not be, you can't sleep on them if you're France, But again, similar to what I was saying with Spain and Croatia, if this was one of the knockout fixtures, France versus Poland, then this would be, probably a classic. It's probably going to go to extra time and all that kind of stuff as well because Poland have got some quality and they're also very resolute. They've got some good goalkeeper choices as well. As much as I don't like Szczesny, he can be decent, and they've got some other guys as well. They've got a few Szymanskis and a few guys like that kicking about. But yeah, I think ultimately I would probably see France going through on that. If Poland did get through, imagine the chance America then have to get to the semi-finals. That would be incredible, wouldn't it? But no, I think France would ultimately do it. If we're then going to have Belgium versus Germany, then I think that's really tight, but I think Germany would just Bayern their way past Belgium because, again, I'm just not a fan of Roberto Martinez. I'm not convinced that he's got it in him to really get Belgium all the way. And if he's playing Germany this early, I think it would be too difficult for them. Portugal, Switzerland, wow. Now, if there's a team that could put Portugal out, it would be Switzerland, eh? That could be the most boring match ever. That would be 0-0 all the way through to the 15th penalty or something like that. I really don't. I think Switzerland could banana skin Portugal in this kind of situation in that one-off game. scenario. But again, ultimately, I think you would probably imagine with the likes of Ronaldo and Bernardo Silva, João Felix, the list goes on. Portugal got so many amazing players. You'd probably think that they would get past Switzerland and then go to the next round. Let's see what you guys are saying about all that. Is Hakimi a good pick for the Global Cup? I think he maybe is for like one match or something like that, but he is 12 points. So a 12-point defender that you're not too sure how many matches you're going to get out of them. I'm not too sure how much you would want to back that with, exactly. Because that's quite a lot of your budget. The latest is that Noppert will start according to the training sessions. I've heard Noppert will definitely play in the penalty shootouts. Gakpo or Griezmann? Gakpo. Oh, that's such a... Tom Clark, that's a very difficult choice, actually. Who's betting on 1-0 win for Qatar tomorrow, Mikey Basson? If Qatar... Here, we would not be surprised about anything at this stage. Granit Xhaka to run the show, by the way. Could be a good shout if Switzerland do get to this kind of situation that we're talking about. Pasveer is the favourite to start, says Milan Scout. Gakpo is a beast for the Dutch, says Turkic, sorry. And Pub Time CEO on the other side. Catch you later, go score. Moritz Pike, fist bump, good to see you. Ugo Gallo is Messi fit. Looks like he could miss the first game and rest it. Oh, breaking news, I think, there from Ugo Gallo. Or maybe it's just a wee bit of spanner in the works of all the drafts, potentially. Now, I get to the quarterfinals. Holland versus Argentina. Now, again, man, like, I could see that this, again, looks like a World Cup classic waiting to happen. Messi and Argentina but probably have too much, and they probably get past Holland. I think even in any circumstances, if it did get to pens, extra time, I think Argentina ultimately would have too much for the Dutch from top to bottom. Spain versus Brazil, again, like, I think there's just so many potential games set up here that could be absolute thrillers. And I think Brazil versus Spain, if this was a quarterfinal, definitely could be the winners to play Argentina in the semi-final. It was going to have to be Neymar running the show. I think the magic would be the difference here. But that's the kind of game that maybe Spain can tiki-taka their way past it. France have to beat America in this situation, you imagine. And then when you get to Germany, Portugal, this is a funny one. Because... again, Germany are kind of missing a bit of something for me this World Cup as well. They're missing a wee bit of something, and so are Portugal. So I think this would be a real coin toss. And, Portugal won the Euros, drawn the whole way. They do have Ronaldo. So I probably would put Portugal to get past Germany in that situation. So I would see the semi-finals be Argentina, Brazil, and France versus Portugal. What do you think of that? Bergkamp 98 springs to mind. That's my favourite World Cup goal of all time. Imagine if Messi DNP's the first game, so many lineups would be mudded. Not mine, because I've got Lautaro. Kansas City Shuffle, guys. I was watching the end product pod, didn't realise you were live. Oh, Charlie the Bar, fist bump, good to see you, my man. Messi's situation was not as scary. He trained alone today because he felt fatigue in his calf. Messi's a special, he's the best, so we've got to leave him be. I think Argentina against Brazil, Messi versus Neymar, there'll be red cards in this game. There'll be all sorts of craziness. There'll be worldies. But I think Brazil are on. I think Brazil are on for this. And I think they would beat Argentina in this kind of semi-final situation. I really do. Because I also think, I just think Brazil go to the final here. And then I think France would beat Portugal. I'm quite convinced of that. And then I would have Brazil probably in the final, this situation, Brazil, France, and all the rest of it. I would have Brazil picking up the victory here. You're missing some secondary predictions. So yeah, that's the way I've got the World Cup. Let me know what you all think of that. I'll go back again to Sorare. So I've got my five-a-side team all locked in. So this is a team, if I was to pick a team of the tournament, I don't think it would look too different from this anyway. As we get more budget and we get some more players, yeah, sure, maybe I could upgrade the Lautaro to a Messi or something like that. But really, when it's all said and done, if you're trying to pick the team now that is obviously going to be really high on the leaderboard, Martinez should go to the semi-finals, I think, in most people's opinions, as we've just seen on the tree there. The Dutch should have a pretty good tournament going to the quarterfinals or so. Belgium the same. Lautaro, we just said the same thing about Argentina. And France, I would expect to get to the final. Don't necessarily need a team to win the World Cup for these players to bang out the kind of scores needed to get high up on the leaderboard, You guys are scaring me with the Messi talk. It looks like Gomez will start with Saudi and Messi will rest. Oof. Oh, the Messi rumor mill is flying. How much doubt and how much fear is going around at the moment. I'm actually really looking forward to game week, whatever it was, 3-2-1 finally finishing. I've got a few cards left to play in the second La Liga. La Liga 2 today or tomorrow or something like that. Maybe we get a card pulled out from this game week finally before we move into match day 1 of the Global Cup as well. Now, again, for anyone who is just joining this, particularly who's on TikTok, there is a link in the bio on my homepage. We're doing a private giveaway. We're doing a private league with an exclusive giveaway of VIP tickets to Celtic, tickets to see St. Pauli, signed Celtic, a signed Celtic shirt which will be raffled off in the group stages. All the details of this are on my YouTube. That and much, much more. On the overall leaderboard in the big game on Sorare itself, there's an all expenses paid trip for the top 5 players to Marseille to play 5-a-side football with Zidane, as well as thousands of pounds. We actually just had the prize pool up on screen. We'll just go and get it because it was lovely to be able to see on the screen here. We can look at the overall leaderboard. So the top 5 people get this Zidane experience. You go to Marseille, you play 5-a-side football with the fucking legend that is. You also get ETH as well. So you're also getting thousands of pounds here. You're also getting Star Limiteds, which are quality cards in this game. The top then 6 to 10 for getting VIP tickets to matches with money as well and cards. And then 89 people or whatever are getting signed tops again with Star Limiteds. The top 200 get Star Limiteds. And if you get between the top 200 and 4,000, you're in with a tier 1. And again, I think if you start the tournament with a good team, you could definitely aim for that quite feasibly if you're running long enough. It's absolutely free to enter. The link is absolutely everywhere to join my league. If you're on my YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all the social medias and all my bios and all my tweets and everything, you can't miss it. My competition is called the Global Cup 3001. When you come on to Sorare as well, I've got a lovely... I'm the same now. I'm on the same level, guys, as John Nellis and Rio Ferdinand. They've given me my own little logo. So you'll come on to the Global Cup 3001. That's my competition. And as I say, all the details are on the YouTube channel, explaining the terms, conditions of the giveaway and all that kind of stuff. But by hitting on that link that's in my bio on my TikTok, if you're watching this on TikTok, you will also get a free limited once you've bought 5 from the market if you're opening an account for the first time. So it's a wee free card loaded in there for you if you go on to actually play the game for real, which is cool. But this game's all totally free to enter. You can actually enter Rio Ferdinand's league as well once after you've entered mine. As well as all these other ones as well. And again, there's raffles and everything. You can enter as many leagues as you want. It's totally free. And again, my competitions are all centered around Celtic and Celtic prizes. So again, if you're Celtic fans watching this, thanks to all of you that are following me on TikTok. Because of you guys, I've had 1,000 followers on TikTok, which means we can now stream there, which is cool. So thanks very much. And hopefully we do much more Celtic and much more Sorare content on all the different platforms, especially around this Global Cup and the World Cup, because I'm very much looking forward to the giveaways that we're doing, as well as just how the Celts do there. And I cannot wait for when we actually get back from the World Cup and it's actually finished, we can get back to the normal football after it's all said and done. But yeah, once again, links are here, there and everywhere. You guys that are regulars will know where they all are. Argentina have assured Messi will play in the opener despite injury worries 2 hours ago. France will be second of the group and out of the round of 16 from Argentina, says Hugo Gallo. That is a huge shout, by the way, and a bold shout, a bold claim, I must say. So fair play to you. I'm absolutely buzzing. I really do want and expect to I'm trying to finish up as high on this leaderboard as I possibly can. I think the opening 5 cards I've played there, I really don't think there's many that are going to get by me. And I think then I'll be in such a great position to pick up good cards quickly and get better cards as the tournament goes on. And I'm hoping that I can really lead the way. And guys, if I win tons of stuff, I'll give tons of it away as well. Maybe not. Zidane, I've already said to John I would take him. So if I win the Zidane thing, then I'm sorry, I can't do anything about that. But other stuff, if I win that, then I'm all about sharing the love. I'm all about sharing the party time and the success. So make sure to follow, like, subscribe, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Of course, everywhere we are. I'm in about 25 private leagues, says Jamie. I need to join more as well because I just want to join them all to support people and stuff, and again, if I win stuff, it's easy just to then redistribute it to you guys. I'm in about 20, says Jamie. Yeah, so again, some great shouts for the World Cup itself. Moan the Hoops, says Jordan Eason. Love it, my man. Good to see you. Fist bump. And James Castle, good to see you. But yeah, that'll be my team. That'll be my. Let's go and get it back up again. Sorry, so this will be my fantasy team, my five-a-side team. So every week, if you finish first, there's free. That's about £3,000 at the moment. There's these National Series cards, which are tradable NFTs. And then you've got Tier 2 Limited Star Commons. There's tons of cards giveaway. Actually, you can't see it on the screen because my camera's in the way, but 100% of prizes are paid out in this division. And this happens every match day. So even if you actually did miss the first match day or the second or the third match day, joining this competition at any time, you can actually get stuck in to win all these prizes at any stage. It really doesn't matter, you know. So, yeah, just bear that in mind as well. But yeah, this is my team. This is the one I'm sticking with. And yeah, guys, I think I'll see you on the other side. I'll be streaming tomorrow, live on the channel. I'm not too sure if I'll be able to stream to all these platforms like I'm doing today or whatever, but I'll be streaming on the YouTube channel 100% with, I'm pretty sure, Etienne23 is joining me in the studio, and we're going to be watching Ecuador against Qatar. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the system and the rig up goes and everything, because since I've moved everything around. Anyway, I should be live streaming the opening game somehow, somewhere. Stay tuned to me on all the social medias for the latest updates and all the rest of it. Have a great night. Thanks to everyone that joined me. The 19th of November is a very special night to me personally. So anyone who's spent any time with me tonight means a lot to me, and I thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, if you want to join the Global Cup, play Sorare, get free cards, enter all these competitions to win stuff for nothing. The link is in my bio. The link is in the description of the video, wherever you found this. If you've got any questions, hit me up in comments. DMs are open. Always happy to help. Always here to help. Yeah. Have a good night, guys. Take care. Right, so I've ended the TikTok one, right, because I just don't know anything about TikTok, right, guys. Now we've done that, right, cool. No need to watch, it's already finished 1-0. We all think it's going to be Qatar 1-0 then, do we? Fair enough, guys, fair enough. I'm buzzing, guys, for the World Cup. I can't wait to get stuck into it. I've got a lot of great content, a lot of great short stuff, because that's apparently what the world wants these days. Plans for the next couple of days and all that good stuff, and plenty of other stuff on the channel as per usual. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Make sure to join the private league and get involved, guys, because again, my rewards are given out. A lot of them, I'm trying to give the good ones out to as many of everyone as I can, you know. So get involved, enter if you haven't already, of course. You know, guys, who's the starting goalkeeper for the Netherlands? Conrad, you better scroll back to the beginning of the stream, buddy. But have a good night, everyone. Good luck for the World Cup, and I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll see you around. Stay out of trouble.